So now we will start the lecture. Why the TV is not started? Check the link. Check the link. So cool. Very good. That's cool. Hare Krishna. So we will now get together to hear the transcendental Vani of His Holiness JAYAPATAKA Swami Guru Maharaj. This will help us to align ourselves with the purpose, mission of Guru Maharaj and also truly understand the meaning of VYASA Puja. Let's hear for some time and then we will share the glorifications. Hare Krishna.
Following is a class given by His Holiness JAYAPATAKA Swami Maharaj on April 12, 1980 in New Orleans, Louisiana. The class begins with a reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 16, Text 11.
King Prithu was born of the dead body of King Vena, as fire is produced from army wood. Thus King Prithu will always remain just like fire, and his enemies will not be able to approach him. Indeed, he will be unbearable to his enemies, for although staying very near him, they will never be able to approach him but will have to remain as if far away. No one will be able to overcome the strength of King Prithu. Report by Srila Prabhupada. Army wood is a kind of fuel used to ignite fire by friction. At the time of performing sacrifices, one can ignite a fire from army wood. Although born of his dead father, King Prithu would still remain just like fire. Just as fire is not easily approached, King Prithu would be unapproachable by his enemies, even though they would appear to be very near him. That is the purport by Srila Prabhupada. King Prithu was born of the dead body of King Vena, as fire is produced from army wood. Thus King Prithu will always remain just like fire, and his enemies will not be able to approach him. Indeed, he will be unbearable to his enemies, for although staying very near him, they will never be able to approach him, but will have to remain as if far away. No one will be able to overcome the strength of King Prithu. No one will be able to overcome the strength of King Prithu. And even though the enemies of King Prithu are very near, they have to remain as if they are far away. Of course, Lord Prithu is a Shastamish avatar of Krishna. So wherever there is Krishna, Maya cannot stand. Krishna Puja Shama Maya Hoyandakar Jaha Krishna Taha Maya Nahi Adhikar. So this Krishna conscious movement, Srila Prabhupada said, is an incarnation of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. branch of his transcendental tree. The tree of which he is the gardener, as well as he is the tree. So, this movement, although situated in so many countries, so many cities around the world, right in the midst of civilizations based upon Rajaguna and Tamadun, although envious-minded people are very near, still they have to stay as if far away. That is the protection which Krishna gives. The Srila Prabhupada so often said that purity is the force. We must maintain our purity, and then Krishna always protects us. Because this movement is not different from Krishna, every preacher, every book distributor, every devotee who is going out, sticking his neck out, so to speak, to present Krishna consciousness, not for any ulterior motive, but for the benefit of the conditioned souls in this material world, who are bound up in ignorance, but they are protected by the mercy of Krishna. So, for purity has many connotations. Purity, we study, of course, is there's internal purity and external purity. We take a bath for external purity and we chant Hare Krishna. We worship the deities for internal purity. Internal purity, of course, means much more, because with chanting comes the deep obligation we have to our spiritual master. Everyone in this material world is living in a very abominable condition, because they're taking of this body and this mind and this intelligence, which has been received due to so many repetitions of birth and death in this material world. They're taking that this polluted body, mind, and intelligence is their self, and therefore they're suffering. In so many bodies, in so many situations, they're suffering. In anxiety, in desire, in so-called misery and so-called enjoyment. They're being tossed around this ocean of the material world. Therefore, their existence is most abominable. So the spiritual master, he gives one the seed of pure devotion. Guru Krishna Prasade Thai Bhakti Lota Beach. Krishna sends the spiritual master, and by the mercy of the spiritual master, one gets the seed of devotion. And that seed of devotion is so valuable. It can work from that abominable condition. So the devotee has two obligations. One is he has to tend the seed which sprouts and turns into a plant, into a tree. He has to tend that. Because that is a service given to him by his spiritual master. And with that, which is part of the tending itself, he has to fulfill whatever orders, responsibilities the spiritual master gives to him. It's like in the description of taking initiation. Someone chants Hare Krishna for some time and is very strict, then the spiritual master gives Gayatri Mantra. And so Prabhupada said, when this Gayatri Mantra is given, that does not mean that he is already perfect. That means now he's ready to make further progress. From that point, now he can become more sincere, more advanced. The spiritual master gives his mercy, seeing the good qualities in someone. Not that there's no bad quality, or that taking second initiation means that having gotten our head, now there's no more bad quality, everything about me is perfect. Doesn't mean that. It means the spiritual master sees some sincerity of purpose. Therefore, to reinforce that, he is given some special mercy. In this way, the spiritual master gives his mercy many times. Seeing some spark of hope, that the disciple, it is his duty to always remember that without the mercy of the spiritual master, he was simply in the most abominable state. In the most abominable state, and by the mercy of the spiritual master, he's been taken out of that abominable state. Krishna is working through the spiritual master. He's present as the spiritual master. The spiritual master who is in his own right, a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. So when we share Hare Krishna, we actually should be relishing in fact, the devotees of the previous acharyas in their prayers, they say that if someone is chanting and he's not praying, they know that when he's hearing the holy name of Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya, his heart isn't melting, his heart is hard like a stone. It is unfortunate. So the Bhajananandis, they take a little taste and they want to go on relishing. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he has revealed that actually the highest taste comes in chanting with so many devotees and in giving that devotion to others. So, the responsibility that Prabhupada has given to all of his followers in the Sukha expression, and which has been given before him by the previous acharyas, and ultimately by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is that every person, every house should be approached and they should be begged to please take up the order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that order? To chant Hare Krishna, to worship Krishna, and to study the teachings of Krishna. Like the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad. Guru Krishna, Bhajan Krishna, Guru Krishna Shikha. This is the Agya, the order that Lord Nityananda and Hariraj they received. So although the Supreme Personality of Godhead has come as Lord Nityananda and Lord Brahma has come as Haridas, they're going from every house to beg the people to chant Hare Krishna, to take our message. So that is how we relish. Whether it's relishing or not, anyway, we first have our first duty to our spiritual master. We can't forget that. We are completely subordinate to his mercy. So the Prabhupada wanted, all the great devotees want that every person should get the chance to take up chanting. I remember that before I went to India in 1969, 1970, I visited. At that time, we were just moved into this New Dwarka, Baltic Avenue address. That time, there were little small Radha Krishna deities that were taken around the block. And we would give a morning report. It was very inspiring. And all the devotees would give their report, and Srila Prabhupada was very satisfied. So one morning, Srila Prabhupada was taking a walk, and he mentioned that it's not that everyone will be a devotee, shaved off and living in the temple. He didn't say shaved up, he said living in the temple. So everyone will be living in the temple. But just like there are so many churches, or there'll be so many temples, and some devotees who are fully giving their time for preaching and instructing, they'll be living there. And others, hundreds and thousands, they'll be coming sometimes to the temple, and their house they'll be worshiping and chanting. In 1970, I remember that he mentioned that. And this is also in the fifth canto, one place in the Prabhupada says, in the purport, that there's no reason why every person in every society all over the world cannot chant Hare Krishna in his home with his family. Every night. And this is a mission. Everyone may not be able to come in our temple, although many more will, hundreds and thousands, and many more temples will be made. But everyone can chant in their home. This type of preaching was started by Lord Nityananda, of course, and that was revised by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Brahmat program, where individual houses or in groups anyway, he would encourage them to open up little shops, houses of faith. And many programs were started now around the society. A few programs were started to encourage people to form the broad Varnashram base the Prabhupada said was yet to be completed in his work. Contributing something every month. At least chanting in their homes to form a broad congregation. In this way, there are so many things that should be done, so many books that should be distributed to cultivate all these people. The Prabhupada, he was very concerned about the future of the movement which he had spent so much time to cultivate. His whole life he simply prepared, we see from Srila Guru Prabhupada's the biography, and how he was preparing from his youthful days, simply for teaching Krishna consciousness all over the world. I remember that in Vrindavan, Mayapur also, many times we mentioned. But if you can't, even if you don't expand, I don't mind. In one sense. Even if you don't expand, at least with respect all the buildings, all the things which I have been able to expand, at least maintain. Don't let that deteriorate. Especially in Mayapur, we see the very striking example. As we practically before our eyes, we see the Gaudiya Math crumble with the paint falling off the walls. If they had just maintained the respect that Bhaktisiddhanta had established, the culture of India had gone to the birthplace of worship. If we maintain that respect today, so many bogus philosophies will not be active. If we're not going to be satisfied with just maintaining, we want to also expand. But the point is how deeply Srila Prabhupada felt. Every step we take must be a step forward. We should be very careful. We should be very cautious. We should be very responsible. What is responsibility? Every disciple is responsible to his spiritual master. What is the principle of devotional service? We're responsible to our spiritual master. And he's responsible to his spiritual master. And he is responsible to his spiritual master. I think everyone is responsible to Krishna through the cyclic succession. So, the order of the spiritual master, that is supreme. Everyone has to serve that order. Whether that individual is the spiritual master or whether he is not a spiritual master, whoever he may be. The order of the spiritual master is supreme over all the disciples. In our Sampradaya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had started a panchayat of 10 men. Panchayat means governing body. And he said that whatever they meet privately and decide, that is not different from Lord Nityananda's verdict. That is to be accepted as Nityananda's desire. You see. Then we saw how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he ordered his disciples that you cooperate together, make a governing body. And failing to do so, now everything is crumbled. Just the trace is there. And Prabhupada has very lucidly expressed all these things in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, third part, first few verses, when he's describing Advaita Acharya's 6 sons, 3 being asar or separated because they deviated from the Acharya, and 3 being bona fide because they maintained their loyalty to the order of Advaita Gosai. Even a son of Mahavishnu avatar, if he deviates from Mahavishnu, is no longer considered to be a real son. He's considered to be asar. So, it's an unending struggle to fight with our mind, to fight with our materialistic mind and senses, and materialistic intelligence. We have to fight with our, enemies, or make them our allies by simply making them subservient to the instruction of our spiritual master. So just like our previous acharyas, Srila Prabhupada also said that there must be a governing body, and he made the governing body in his presence. He didn't leave it up to chance. And he sat through so many initial meetings also, just to make sure that everything went nicely. And when he entered into his eternal pastimes, although he's still present here, there's no doubt about that. It's not that he's entered and left us. He's still present, so much present. So carefully watching what is going on. So carefully giving out punishment and reward to make us aware of our mistakes and our success. At that time when he, however, left from our physical vision, before then, in his will, verbally, so many different ways, he said that he wanted the society to go on under the governing body commission. That is the order of the spiritual master. Of course, he also appointed certain devotees to give initiation. And these devotees are his disciples. So in spite of the fact that they have to be spiritual master, it is their duty to give spiritual instruction exactly as they heard it from their spiritual master, exactly as is bona fide and authorized in the scripture. Definition is there. What is Guru? Guru is one who simply repeats what he heard from his spiritual master and from Krishna as he realized it. And that should be always completely in line with the Shastra. So in spite of some members being initiating acharyas, the devotees in general should be mature enough to see that they have the order of their spiritual master to follow. And that is the highest principle. And that order is that in this ISKCON society, the governing body commission decision is to be accepted as the desire of the previous acharyas, the desire of Krishna, of Srila Prabhupada especially. And therefore they have to accept that instruction, you see. Even though they're absolute spiritual masters or devotees, still that absolute order they receive from their spiritual master It takes great and supreme precedence over everything else. The Srila Prabhupada has given us so many instructions in the scriptures. In fact, he's given so many instructions how to be devotee, how to be a disciple, how to be a spiritual master, how to be a king, how to be a Kshatriya, how to be a Brahmin, how to be a Vaishya, how to be a Sudra. He's given all the instruction. How to be a Grihastha, how to raise children, how to give up Grihastha and be a sannyas. He's given all the instructions. So that for 10,000 years this movement will go on expanding. And so that everyone has a clear idea how he should act. Because nobody is independent of the Shastra. Lord Chaitanya would sit and discuss with senior devotees Shastra. Who is today the great Acharya of the Ballabh Sampradaya, he came and wanted to present. He had so many conceptions and his conceptions of Shastra were not accepted by Lord Chaitanya. And that has been very carefully given, although he was such an advanced person. Of course, he couldn't swallow it. So he went off and he made his own sect. Or he took another initiation from Vishnu Swami's sect. So therefore their sect does not understand what is Madhurya Rasa. They don't understand what is the highest point. They just go up to a certain level. But they're devotees, no doubt. So here we see our Prithu Maharaj. He was such a great ruler that he was just like fire. Similarly, every devotee should be just like fire. Fire, when it's controlled, is very useful. And it is very powerful. The uncontrolled fire means that it is very destructive. So devotees, they're like fire, but that fire is applied, you see. That's why they get continually more fuel. It's given down the disciplic succession. And the preaching goes on expanding. As much electricity as is required for illuminating a light, that much is given from the powerhouse. It's an automatic system. Condensers and relay switches. As much as it draws, that's how much is taken. We have a generator at Mayapur. If we turn on 20 kilowatts of lights, the generator will work on a 20 kilowatt load. It won't produce more. And if we turn on all the lights like at the festival, we burn the fuse. Because it had only 60 kilowatt load capacity, but we turned on 80 kilowatts. All on one phase. 3-phase system. And Vishnupad went down and got everyone jumping to fix the fuse. So no one even knew more than a few hours. So the point is that as much as we can give out Krishna's mercy, Krishna will provide so much more load, so much more electricity, Shakti, that we simply have to see that there's no short circuits. That we're not having what they know as leak. If you have a loose wire touching the wall, it creates an electrical leak. The unlimited electricity is just drawn off. So much energy is expended for no useful purpose. In fact, if you touch the wall, you get a shock. It can even be very dangerous. So there is where purity comes in. That by purity we are insulating ourselves from any leaks, from any contact with Maya conductors. And we're simply taking that energy right where it needs to go. Right to the conditioned soul's heart, igniting their wood-like heart and making it fire also. In this way the fire goes on spreading. And more bulbs are lit. More and more spiritual fires are ignited. So Prabhupada knew that when a little spiritual light, little fire is started, little plant is there, it's very fragile. It can be easily destroyed. Especially the faith that he created in many countries was after a lot of effort and is very thin, can be easily destroyed. So therefore he wanted us to be very careful, to act exactly in line with his instructions. So this goes down to every distributor, goes down to every devotee, goes to every single person. The more that one is responsible, the more he has to be responsible. And understand how he is so liable to Srila Prabhupada. But every single devotee, how he is presenting himself, how is he presenting Krishna? He's not presenting himself. When someone sees a devotee, he doesn't think of that person as an individual sense. He thinks of him in the sense that he's a member of the ISKCON society. He's a Hare Krishna. Therefore, we had difficulty in India one time, you see. The one devotee was caught stealing. You know what happens sometimes. And there was some devotees from America, and they said, all right, throw him out of the temple. But first cut off his sika. This is an old pastime. But in India, everybody has a sika. So they cut his sika off and threw him. I went to the police and they cut off my sika. They take away my Hindutva, my Hinduism. And the police became all angry. How can you cut off his sika? Well, he was stealing, he was smoking, well, I smoke, I steal. I take bribes, I got a sika. So it was a very touchy thing. So in India, you see, we can't do such things. Okay, so I had to explain to the other devotees, they couldn't understand the Indian devotee. Why is this going on? He says, no, you see, in the West, nobody wears sika but Hare Krishna devotees. So if they go out and do something, people say, oh, look, there's Hare Krishna. In India, of course, it's not necessary. There you can send them out with sika, no one will know. So the point is that we're a society and we're a sampradaya. And actually we have very good chance. In fact, we have no doubt of success if we simply stick to these principles. There's no doubt. Just like Prithu Maharaj, even there's so many enemies, they couldn't get near him. They couldn't approach. They couldn't find a fault or an opportunity to attack him. He was so powerful and he was so mysterious. They didn't know where he was coming, where he was going, what he was doing, how much money he had, didn't have, where everything about him was opulent. Because he was covered by Krishna's transcendental potency. So similarly, we have to always be under the shelter of Jagannath, Subhadra, Balaram, Subhadra's Yogamaya. When we're under her shelter, no one can really see what is happening. You see. And somehow or another, if we lose her shelter, and Krishna's Mahavaya shelter means big trouble. So that we always have to be very careful to be under the shelter of Yogamaya. Yogamaya samangvita. We have to be under the shelter of Krishna. And that we can only be when we are always fixed up and following the instruction of the previous acharyas. So I was looking forward to coming to New Dwarka for the Rath Yatra festival. But Rameshwar called me here early, or I don't know now whether I'll have the fortune to be here also during Rath Yatra. I went down to Venice Beach just to see the previous site. But it's very nice to be back and have the holy darshan of Sri Sri Rukmini Dwarkadish and Nitai Gaur, Rukmini Dwarkanath, Jagannath Subhadra Balaram, and to be present amongst all the great Vaishnavas of this noble and transcendental community, and to be present amongst so many great devotees from all over the world, the present day acharyas and GBC members. So, Srila Rameshwar was saying that they always wanted to have an ISKCON festival. So, by his purity, this New Dwarka has been the place of coming of so many devotees. So somehow I also slipped in just to take advantage of this association. So I think there's other programs.
Srila JAYAPATAKA Maharaj ki
Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Rameshwar Swami ki, ISKCON Vartamana Acharya Vrinda ki.
Hare Krishna. So that was a wonderful lecture given by our most dear His Holiness JAYAPATAKA Swami Guru Maharaj. He highlighted many points which are very much in line with the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada. Also helped us to understand the principles of the Guru Tattva. What does it mean to be having pure disciple consciousness? And how is it very important to be liable to Srila Prabhupada and spiritual masters? A very relevant and a very heart-touching lecture, especially most suitable and most appropriate to hear and follow and meditate upon on the 73rd and most auspicious Vyasa Puja appearance day of Srila Guru Maharaj. So we thank all the devotees who are joining physically here and all the devotees who are online. And now we will start to purify ourselves and rise in love with Guru Maharaj by hearing glorification about him from the mouths of all the other devotees. So many devotees have registered to offer the glorification. We have 1 hour of time from now. So the idea is that all the devotees should get a chance. But I see if all the devotees have to get a chance, then all of them have to restrict their offering to 5 to 7 minutes and not more than that. So I would like to now first call upon His Grace Parikshit Prabhu. So anybody eager to offer first? Others I just go by the list of names I have. Go by the list. Okay. So first name on the list is Srinidhi Gaurhari. Would you like to come and offer? Please come.
I'm learning. Hare Krishna. Respected Guru Maharaj, please accept our humble, respectful obeisances unto your divine grace. All glories to your divine grace and to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, the day we were writing this image, so we were mentioning, so I was just reading the same. Today we were reading the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in which Srila Prabhupada was giving an analogy that air is in water, fire, sky, and everywhere, but doesn't mix with it. Similarly, soul is present in the body, but it is aloof from the body activities. That's why a pure devotee does not get disturbed by happiness and distress. Such a devotee goes on serving the Lordship without considering any situations or obstacles. At that moment, we just remembered you, Guru Maharaj. So true the words of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Just by your example, we could understand the truthfulness of the Lord Krishna. Guru Maharaj, when you were admitted in hospital because of COVID and other complications, we were very worried, and that was the first time we felt orphaned and feared that what will we do without you? You always thinking, meditating upon how you could serve your spiritual master and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mission. Your disciples were sharing your daily routine and health condition. In that way, we were astonished to hear how you serve Lordship without any hesitation. One side, the nurse is injecting you, another side, chest, ECG is going on. You are in ventilator, in between, you are attending GBC meeting. Divine grace, you are the best example for the whole world. And as per the scriptures, you are performing devotional service constantly with determination and lovingly. All of us, we have only 24 hours in a day, but we complain no time. Oh, my spiritual master, you are so determined to do daily routine of chanting, hearing, reading, preaching, attending GBC meetings. And giving darshan to the devotees in Zoom meeting and so many activities in the mind. In the middle of taking care of your body like steaming, gargling. So, sun therapy, chest therapy, exercises without missing even a single day. When we think of your divine grace, we get new energy, feel fearless, and try to follow at least to a dust particle of yours. And of course, Guru Maharaj, we need your mercy and protection to do this dust particle. We both got initiated by your divine grace on Jan 9th, 2022. You taught us in various ways how to solely depend upon you and Lord Krishna before taking shelter of your divine grace, which we would have not learned otherwise. Thank you so much for giving us this most valuable lesson. And we need such lesson and shelter from you always to perfect ourselves and go back to God. We could see your love and care for this most degraded and insignificant souls in all aspects of our life. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for all that you have given us. But at the same time, please, we beg forgiveness at your lotus feet for the mistakes we have committed. We beg from you to please show mercy and teach how to cry for Lord Krishna. Our heart is hard. It's like a hard stone. So we could not even feel a drop of gratitude for the Lordships. You are so cruel-minded, unfit to be a servant of an ant also, and what to speak of being your servant. Guru Maharaj, your most humble personality, that's why you don't see any difference between neophyte devotee or advanced devotee. Your divine grace shows equal importance to all the creatures in this material world. That's why you take care of us at cost of own health. Guru Maharaj, this pen, paper, book is enough to write your glories. We have been with very minute intelligence, all the words have written. It's because you have that intelligence. If suppose there is any flaw That is our ignorance and mistake. Forgive us. Guru Maharaj, we are under the guidance of His Grace, Harishatra Prabhu and His Grace, Karthikeya Prabhuji. So we are an extension of Narasimhagiri Mandir in Bangalore. By the devotees' mercy, a new center, ISKCON Bhakti Center, Panathur, has been started. We and many other devotees come under this center. We request you to please shower your mercy upon the devotees in the sector to advance in Krishna consciousness and serve Srila Prabhupada's mission on earth. And also we need your powerful blessing to start more and more Bhakti centers in Bangalore. Hare Krishna. Yours in service, Shri Gaura Haridas, Dayavati Gaura Priya Devidasi Tattvadarshi. Hare Krishna.
Srinidhi Gauri Prabhu for such a heart-touching offering. May I now call upon Shri Haripriya Mataji to share the offering.
ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनिति नामे नमाचार्यपादाय नितायकृपप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामदाय नवग्रहमताय। Hare Krishna, dear spiritual father, please accept my respectful obeisances to your holy lotus feet. I thank you for all the mercy that you have shown on us and unlimited souls like me by giving the nectar of Krishna consciousness. As Lord Gauranga has appeared just to deliver the fallen souls by giving them Krishna Prema, similarly the associates of the Lord and the whole paraphernalia of the Lord helps in promoting the very mission of Gaurang Mahaprabhu. And Srila Prabhupada has rightly addressed you, dear Guru Maharaj, as one of the personal associate of Gaurang Mahaprabhu, who is continuously and untiringly dedicated in propagating the holy Mahamantra to general people and distribute them the sacred knowledge about the Lord and his pastimes. Wherever you are, whether in a hospital visit or meeting people or traveling, you never miss the chance to preach. I was reading a few days back how you have requested the physiotherapist to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he agreed with the condition that you will work and lift your foot up and down. Hearing which you have replied back that if he obliges to chant, you will mobilize and lift both your feet completely. Doctors and nurses are amazed when they see your spirit. Despite the internal health struggles that you face, you always have come forward to give classes and never go away from the preaching spirit and stand like a soldier in the battlefield. You're fulfilling the desires of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda personally by distributing the ocean of mercy of their lordships, Gaur Nitai, to one and all. Your concern on Vaishnav care is unparalleled, and I pray to Sri Sri Prahlad Narsimadev, Sri Sri Radha Madhav, and Sri Sri Panchatattva and our own Guru Parampara to bestow a very good health to you so that you continue to spread Krishna consciousness and the mercy around the globe. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, your spiritual daughter, Sirisha Haripriya Devidasi.
So, Krishna Prabhu, we request you to offer your offering to Guru Maharaj.
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Vishnupada, Krishna Masthakuta, Jayapataka Saminiti Namini, Namacharya Pada, Nitai Kripadayani, Yorkata Damada, Nagara Ramata, Namo Vishnupada, Krishna Masthakuta Bhutani, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Saminiti Namini, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Prachari, Devi says Sunnavadi Pasyati Dishtai. Today is the most auspicious day, Kamada Ekadashi, and my beloved Guru Maharaj, 73rd Vyasa Puja. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes. Now, okay. So, Lord Guru Maharaj, you don't need our glorifications, you're already glorified. But I'm so fallen for my purification to bring in some auspiciousness in my life. I'm putting my humble effort to glorify you. I was reading a Facebook post in Bengali. The heading attracted my eyes. There was written Obak Kando. There is astonishing moment. So once you were traveling out of Hyderabad airport, suddenly an airport officer said, I need to check you. Then your personal servant informed the officer, Guru Maharaj is a sannyasi and ISKCON Guru. So do you want to check him? The officer was adamant and took you to check a room and closed the door. The officer touched your lotus feet and did a Dandavat Pranam. Then the officer got up and apologized to you. Maharaj, I wasted your valuable time. I used my position to touch your lotus feet. Please forgive me. So I had seen you long back and I had a desire to touch your lotus feet. And I'm chanting since then. Then he then offered flowers on your lotus feet and begged for your shelter. So from when I was reading, I just recall immediately that Bhagavatam 11 Canto, 5th chapter, 33 sloka, that Deyam Sada Paribhava Avistadoham Tirthas Padam Siva Virinchinuntam Saranam. So Tirthas Padam, the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are the center of all the holy places. As Guru Maharaj, as you go all around the world, you carry Mahaprabhu, and the places get purified and they become holy. And it also strikes my stone-like heart that people had so much transformation seeing you in the airport. And I'm so unfortunate, O Guru Maharaj, that you mercifully gave me shelter, but my heart didn't change at all. I could not develop any love. So Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo Ekdasi Trino Pekhavati Hina Sakala Sahani Balo Diya Karo Nijam Nispriya Hina. Please give me the energy to know you correctly. Then by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. Oh Guru Maharaj, you're a great disciple of Srila Prabhupada, a very, very special person because you have dedicated 100% to Srila Prabhupada. Your mind is completely engrossed in executing Srila Prabhupada's instruction. Srila Prabhupada was aware of your capability and had given many instructions which you have successfully completed. Yet you are mercifully asking us and engaging us in Srila Prabhupada's service. We got inspired how you dedicated on book distribution, development of Navadip Dham, and building TOVP to please Srila Prabhupada. 10,000 books a month, that is Guru Maharaj's target, and you always exceed that target. To illustrate your desire to complete the TOVP for Srila Prabhupada pleasure, you are going to flag off the official launch of the TOVP 2024 marathon to open the temple in 2024. So how pleasing it would be to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, Guru Maharaj, you are an embodiment of endless inspiration, taking the charge of more than 55,000 souls initiated or Diksha disciple, a great number of aspiring devotees. There are thousands who take Siksha from you. So your unlimited compassion for conditioned soul. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed, Jare Dekho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh, deliver the message of Lord Krishna whenever you go and wherever and whoever you meet. Oh Guru Maharaj, you are exemplary. You see how you preach to the doctors and nurses who come to treat you and you transform them. So on this auspicious day, oh Guru Maharaj, please give me mercy. Give me mercy so that I can use myself for any service unto your lotus feet. You're very insignificant spiritual servant, Sarvanath Krishna Das, Revati Manoharini Devi Dasi, Shreya Kundu. Hare Krishna.
Sarvanath Krishna Prabhu for your very personal offering to Guru Maharaj. Shishigandharita Girdhari Srimad Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki Jai. Shri Gauritai ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai. May I now call upon Krishna Karnamurti.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept our respectful obeisances at your lotus feet.
You are representing our Guru Parampara with the high standards, even at the time of Corona. Your daily Chaitanya class, Leela class, and daily darshan helped us to maintain our basic sadhana and doing online services. Your home visit and accept offering gives a lot of enthusiasm to us and among the devotees. Because you encourage us to do Bhakti Sastri, we are doing Bhakti Sastri. It is wonderful to read Srila Prabhupada books and understand more about Krishna and his devotional service. It gave a lot of days to read Srila Prabhupada books and hear Srila Prabhupada lectures. You are praying to the devotees who are sick due to Corona. Many devotees recovered without much complication and continue their devotional service to Lord Krishna. You are doing everyday book distribution, very innovative way to please Srila Prabhupada. You are blessing the devotee's birthday and devotee's anniversary. It has a lot of positive impact on their spiritual life, progressing in their spiritual path. It helped us, our DU members, a lot. You started giving online initiation. This is another innovative way. You are following Srila Prabhupada as it is as per time, place, and circumstances. By your mercy and devotees' mercy in Bangalore, we are trying to help in your preaching. Since you gave order to make Bangalore ISKCON city, many devotees tirelessly working. We want to become an instrument in your service to Srila Prabhupada. So kindly shower your mercy and blessings to us to do more and more devotional service to you. This year, we participated in book marathon, physically as well as online. Our circle exceeded a target, 2,500 Mahabooks set by our center. More devotees participated enthusiastically and distributed books in ISKCON Whitefield. Our center servant head H.C. Harshetra Prabhu and circle servant leader Kartikeya Prabhuji encouraged us by following your instruction. It was very wonderful doing book distribution with a group of devotees. While doing book distribution, we realized that lots of souls are waiting for Srila Prabhupada books. Srila Guru Maharaj, you are an ocean of mercy. Please give us for all offenses, forgive us for all offenses we knowingly or unknowingly doing it. We pray to you and Lord Krishna that anytime we don't want to hurt any devotees and living entities, at the same time increase our devotional service to Lord Krishna. By your causeless mercy and by devotees' causeless mercy, we come to Krishna consciousness. By your mercy and devotees' mercy only, we are able to practice and continue in Krishna consciousness. Now, our prayers are, we want to serve you throughout this life and even after this life. Kindly bless us, Srila Guru Maharaj, your spiritual children, Krishna Karunamurti Das, Yogini Yamuna Devi Dasi, Hemachandra. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Krishna Karunamurti Prabhu. Your offering was very full of gratitude and it made us also very grateful towards Guru Maharaj. May I now call upon Karunamurti Krishna Prabhu to present his offering. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. All goes to Guru Maharaj. Please accept my respectful obeisances. I am doing this offering for my own purification. Otherwise, I don't have any qualifications. Dear Guru Maharaj, we along with Bhakti Vishram members try to collect Shastradhan and distribute books, part of book marathon to please you, and reached a humble 650 Bhagavad tablets. Please bless us so that we could be able to double this every year for your own pleasure. Please bless our Bhakti Vishram members, family members to nicely follow our Krishna consciousness for your pleasure, Guru Maharaj. Please bless me one day, I'll be able to please you. That is my strong desire. I'm trying to support His Grace Shyam Rasika Prabhu in managing transmission services. Please bless the JPS volunteers, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, we came to visit you in Chennai. A miracle happened.
I thought of passing by Chennai for a function. Suddenly inspired to take darshan of you. At the same time, I didn't want to take darshan to Lord Maharaj's prasadam. So did all the plan. Visited temple, collected prasadam and gave it to your servants. Came to know that you desired to have Lord Maharaj's prasadam and you got it. Lord is so conquered by love of pure devotee and to fulfill pure devotee wish. He somehow instrumentally used us. Even more is our woman so merciful to involve his fallen one for his service. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for your costless mercy. Please forgive me for any offenses I committed at your lotus feet. Also, thank you so much for giving names for our deities, Nityankarma and Patita Pavana Gaura. Please bless us to please them nicely for your pleasure. Guru Maharaj, your instruction is for your disciples to do Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. So I'm now trying to do Bhakti Vaibhav and my family trying to do Bhakti Shastri to please you. Please bless us to please you. Let that be the only goal of our life. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Your humble servants, Karnapati Yashadas, Karnapati Yashadas, Karnapati Yashadas, Radhasaki Vishwa.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Karnapati Keshav Prabhu, for your wonderful offering. May I now call upon Supriya Kalavati Mataji to share her offering.
नमो शिवदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनिति नामिने नमः आचार्य पादाय निताय कपदाय गौरकथामदाय नागरग्रामदाय. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble, respectful obeisances. All glories unto you. Dear Guru Maharaj, I really admire the devotion, dedication, passion that you show us every day. You face so many challenges every day, but you are still very strong to follow the instructions of your spiritual master, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. But I am such fallen soul, and in spite of having a luxurious life without any major hindrances, I struggle to keep up your instructions. When I hear the updates on how you make each and every opportunity to spread Krishna consciousness, even when you're undergoing a treatment in a hospital, throws me down, and I feel that I am more worse than Jagai and Madai. It is just because of your mercy I'm still able to practice Krishna consciousness and follow little of your instructions. And it is again your mercy you gave me shelter at your lotus feet. Please bless that I too develop the same kind of fire inside me to serve the Lord and follow your instructions at any circumstances. Dear Guru Maharaj, I am currently involved in baking Bhakti Vrikshas, and each time before the class I beg and pray for your mercy. And you have helped me always to answer the questions of my members or share my realizations appropriately, so that it makes a lot of sense to them. Please shed your mercy upon me so that I take up the initiation from you soon. I am placing all my prayers at your lotus feet and kindly accept it. Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Deepak Prashant Prabhu. Please accept my, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances, all glories unto you. It is a great, big, important opportunity that I am getting to express and present my gratitude to you. I cannot explain how much you are doing to me to make me do the little that I am doing in devotional service. My chanting has become much more clear and focused concentration, and begging attitude while chanting is much better than before, as I pray to you and Srila Prabhupada before start of the chanting services. I take BB where you give me the points that I should explain. I also host SP reading sessions every day, but there again you make me speak and answer the questions of the different members. I give children classes and you enable me to present it to the children in the manner which is interesting to them. I speak to the BB members and you help me speak pleasingly. Whenever I pray to you about my BB members' progress, I hear that they are progressing. So every day I see that your hand is present to make make me do anything. By your mercy, I'm able to be occupied in different devotional services. So depending upon you is the best I understood. I need not be independent and suffer. Just depending upon you is the solution to all the problems. You make me do much more. You are such a treasure in my life, Gurudev. Without you, I'm just a piece of dust only. Thank you for everything, Gurudev. Now, please give me the benediction of progressing more and more to please Radharani and Lord Krishna. I want to be an instrument in your hands in making Bangalore Krishna conscious city. Please bless me and accept me, Hare Krishna. Kindly accept my obeisances unto your lotus feet. All glories unto you. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Supriya Kalavati Devi Dasi and
Thank you very much, Deepak Krishnan Prabhu, for your offering, and Supriya Kalavati Mataji. Thank you for helping us understand what it means to be a disciple, and we are always dependent on you. May I now call upon Krishna Mohan Vallabh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Please accept my respectful, humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. For the last few months, I have been listening to your lectures regularly and trying to understand the secret of Krishna consciousness by your causeless mercy. So, making one's life goal to fulfill the desires of the spiritual master and the acharyas in the disciplic succession. This is just in contrast to the materialist who always strive hard to accumulate wealth and seek to the comforts of children and grandchildren. You have always been epitome of following Srila Prabhupada's instructions and fulfilling his divine grace each and every desire. This gives me much inspiration that for the few months I kept meditating on this realization just after waking up and praying at your lotus feet. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Edase Guna Peka Atihina Sakala Sahane Baladiya Koro Nijamane Spohahina. Gurudev, oh spiritual master, give to this servant just one drop of mercy. I am lower than a blade of grass. Give me all health, give me strength. Let me be as you are without desires or aspirations. You have shown by your example how to preach and distribute books to please Srila Prabhupada in whatever condition one may be, as you have mercifully distributed Bhagavad Gita books to the doctors in the Chennai hospital. Through your mobile app, every day you teach by your example so many conditioned souls like me how to wear tilak, water tulasi, attend Mangalarti. Without your causeless mercy, how it would be possible to learn the sayings of Krishna consciousness? I humbly beg at your lotus feet to kindly accept me as your surrendered disciple, and I hanker to serve your holiness and become an instrumental servant in your fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's instruction. Finally, I beg to shower your causeless mercy on my family members and Bhakti Vriksha named Radha Krishna Chandra, members in empowering us to practice pure devotional service as exemplified by your life standards and become valuable contributors to Srila Prabhupada's mission in spreading teachings of Lord Chaitanya everywhere. You are sheltered, humble disciple, Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Krishna Mohan Prabhu, for teaching us how to become empowered and how to beg for mercy from spiritual master. May I now call upon Amal Bharati Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Anybody who has not yet registered for offering but is interested to offer and is here physically, please let me know. Please approach me. If time permits, we will definitely consider. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Respected Guru Maharaj, please accept respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet from a proud Ashraya devotee, dear Guru Maharaj, on your auspicious 73rd VYASA PUJA. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate JAYAPATAKA SWAMI Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kipapadaya Gaur Katha Dhamma Daya Nagara Gramatari. In the year 2019, as per my revered mentor's advice to select a spiritual master for spiritual advancement, We selected you and we're so glad and happy to be accepted by you. We are now eagerly awaiting to be an initiated devotee with your mercy. This year, we have been entrusted with the responsibility of conducting a Bhakti Viksha in our sector in Kanamangla. We are so happy to be in the association of spirited devotees. In this recently held Shiksha, out of our small Bhakti Viksha, 8 members appeared for various Shiksha levels and have become eligible for the next level. I am longing to emulate your untiring zeal and spirit of accomplishing of the desire of your Guru Maharaj, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Your most cherished desire to make Bangalore a Krishna conscious city in the country. I, in my own way, trying hard to spread the glories of the Lord wherever possible. Most glaring act of your Guru Maharaj being your hospitalization away from Mayapur Dham at Chennai, and despite in utter distress and pain, you only talked to anyone and everyone about the Lord, His glories and Krishna consciousness, preaching and motivating all by repeated appeal to chant Harinam, narrating glories of Guru and Quran. In real sense, spreading His name in every nook and corner of the country. It is an immense privilege and fortune for us to be under your shelter. Please bless us that we are able to fulfill your wishes. Your insignificant servant, Amal and Chitra Bhadri. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Amal Bhadri Prabhu, for your very heart-touching offering. So I will take the opportunity now to offer my offering to my dear spiritual father, His Holiness JAYAPATAKA Swami Guru Maharaj. I offer my respectful obeisances at the dust of your Sankirtan lotus feet on this auspicious occasion of your 73rd Vyasa Puja celebration. Our glories to you, Guru Maharaj, who have displayed unlimited divine qualities, but amongst all of them, your dedication to Srila Prabhupada shines as the main jewel amongst your unlimited bhakti bhushanas. My most tolerant Guru Maharaj, thank you for giving me shelter at your lotus feet and patiently tolerating my offenses. In my struggle to be a sincere disciple, your large-heartedness is very humbling and transforming. You certainly carry the magnanimity of Lord Nityananda in your heart. Your personal touch in all your dealings, either physical or online, is very instructive in terms of Vaishnava etiquette display, stressing on the principles of Bhakti Rasa, alignment to the mode of previous acharyas, especially Srila Prabhupada, and thoughtful guidance. Everything which you do is very selfless, prayerful, and nourishing to the soul. You touch the hearts around you, and even a moment of it is enough for a lifetime. You mercifully awarded me second initiation and blessed me to wear saffron uniform in the month of December 2021. By your mercy and unwavering desire to please Srila Prabhupada, the New Bhakti Center has manifested under the guidance of your able devotees in the Kanamangala region of Bangalore. We offer this center and its services for your pleasure and seek your blessings for its further expansion under your able guidance. I received the fortune of your physical darshan and class in Sri Dham Mayapur during the Sri Navadvip Mandal Parikrama 2022. I felt purified and uplifted in your association. Narottam Das Thakur has rightly said, Jahara nikate gele papa dure jaye, emona doyala prabhu keva pothe paye. Where does one find such a merciful personality by whose mere audience all sins go away? Gangara parasa hoile paschate pavana, darshane pavitra karo ei tumar. After bathing in the waters of the sacred Ganges many times, one becomes purified, but just by the sight of you, the fallen souls are purified. This is your great power. I hanker to always be in your association via your instructions, which are not different from your most merciful self. Your remembrance and ecstatic association, either by Vani or Vapu, have the potency to drive away avidya and avoid prema bhakti. Guru Maharaj, you are relishing this prema bhakti, and your innermost desire is that your followers also should become receptive to your mercy, receive Krishna from you, and blissfully chant Hare Krishna and engage enthusiastically in the service of Lord Krishna. I'm so unfortunate that I'm reluctant to receive that mercy. Please instruct me how to receive and act on your mercy. Please guide me to dedicate my life to the service of the Guru Parampara. Please teach me to control my 6 passions, rectify my 6 faults, bestow upon me the 6 qualities, and offer unto me the 6 kinds of holy association. My dear Savior, the best gift of Srila Prabhupada in my life, thank you for showing us how to become a true follower and a true servant of Srila Prabhupada. You are the most faithful and confidential servitor of the Lord, and therefore deserve as much respect as Lord Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that although every living entity is a servitor of God, the genuine spiritual master is a direct manifestation of Krishna. For a disciple to advance spiritually, he must be convinced of this. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava in the 11th canto, chapter 17, shloka 27, Acharyam mam janiyan nava manyeta karhichit namartya buddhya suyeta sarva deham yoguruhu. One should know the Acharya is myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not end him thinking to be an ordinary man, but he is a representative of all the demigods. Dear Lord Krishna is especially instructing how a disciple should behave under the care of his spiritual master. A spiritual master is not an enjoyer of the facilities offered by his disciples, rather, he is just like a parent. Just like a child cannot grow up without the proper attentive guidance of his parents, one cannot learn to perform devotional service without the attentive guidance and mercy of the spiritual master. The ability to walk is born with a baby, and within a couple of years, the child develops it with practice. Similarly, Krishna consciousness is eternally present within the conditioned soul, but can be realized when guided by a true representative of Lord Krishna. You are that true representative of Krishna in my life. My dear Goshtyanandi Guru Maharaj, your life is simply meant for upliftment of the fallen conditioned souls like me. Your every act is an instruction for all your beloved followers. Number 1, your Zoom house visits after every Chaitanya Lila class are the lifeline of the devotees. All devotees are eager to make their loving offerings to you. You made the impossible, that is, personal interactions with millions, possible by these Zoom house visits. You established the importance of having 6 loving exchanges in the association of devotees, as highlighted by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, by this pastime of yours. On my birthday, you kindly blessed me, and on other occasions, you accepted some Mahaprasad and garlands from me. I will cherish these moments always. With a lot of humility and feeling utterly disqualified, please allow me to offer you the title of Zoom Meetings by Virajikacharya. Number 2, your waking up for Mangalarti and carefully describing the colors of the outfits of the deities shows your love-filled meditation on the transcendental form of the Lord. This you are doing despite all physical challenges, simply to encourage your followers and make them understand the value of an uncompromised morning program. 3, your unwavering desire to speak the Chaitanya Katha every day simply for the benefit of this world shows your deep attachment to Lord Chaitanya. I often speculate that you must be daily dealing with so many intense issues related to management, disciples, GBC, etc., which will take a lot of toll on anyone. But when you come to give the daily Chaitanya Lila class, your demeanor is completely unblemished and transcendently surcharged. Time stops when you say Gauranga. This shows your intense attachment to Lord Chaitanya. This activity of yours can be compared to that of Lord Chaitanya himself, as Srimad Bhagavatam 11.534 states. Out of sheer mercifulness, you chased after the fallen conditioned souls who are always in the pursuit of false enjoyment of illusion, and at the same time engaged in searching out your own desired object, Lord Shyam Sundar. Being his associate, you are simply walking in his footsteps, Guru Maharaj. Number 4. Guru Maharaj, you never missed chanting your rounds, even when you were in the operation theatre. You preached very innovatively to the doctors, inducing them to chant Krishna's names, whilst treatment, and distributed Bhagavad Gitas to the hospital staff. It was reported by the hospital staff that the eeriness of the hospital vanished in your presence, and all were feeling joyful and spontaneously chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You wrote letters to your disciples from the operation theatre, and this proved that your meditation and on them and prayers for them is their only lifeline. In the Adi Puran, there is the following statement by Lord Krishna himself addressing to Arjuna. My dear Partha, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. Only a person who claims to be a devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. No one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must approach him through his pure devotees. Therefore, in the system of Vaishnava activities, the first duty is to accept a devotee as the spiritual master and then render service to him. The aim of my life is to become your devoted servant. Number 5. You read the books of Srila Prabhupada daily without fail. In this way, you instruct your followers to be, in the art of being faithfully connected to Srila Prabhupada on the transcendental plane via his books. Number 6. You are constantly meditating on expanding the movement of Srila Prabhupada. Your instructions project, which says, help me serve Srila Prabhupada, is the manifestation of your meditation. You are the epitome of disciple consciousness. You simply exist for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure and service, and this is your primary teaching to all of us. Your attachment to Srila Prabhupada and your daily meditation on his instructions is your very identity, and this fact makes you the crown jewel of this world. In one of your lectures, you have confirmed this prime necessity of spiritual life. You said on May 29, 2019 in Mayapur, quote, the disciple having the mood of the Guru and the Parampara is a sign of a very advanced disciple. We should aspire for understanding the mood of the spiritual master. One time Srila Prabhupada asked, what is the thing you can gain from the Guru? And everyone said so many things. Then Srila Prabhupada, then he replied, get his vibration. His vibration is the essence, unquote. Guru Maharaj, having fully imbibed the mood and the vibration of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, you are at the pinnacle of perfection in your own life. And you are now mercifully passing on the same formula into the hearts of your disciples. Srila Prabhupada would be so pleased with you. Number 7. Your ecstatic love towards Krishna is visible in all your pastimes. You are always anxious to utilize your time in the devotional service of the Lord. You do not like to be idle. You want service always, 24 hours a day without deviation. You remain reserved and perseverant. You are always detached from all material attraction. You do not long for any material respect in return for your activities. You are always certain that Krishna will bestow his mercy upon you. You are always enthusiastic to serve the Lord faithfully. You are very much attached to the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. You are always eager to describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. You are eagerly pleased to live in the place where the Lord has performed his pastimes, such as Sri Mayapur, where Srila Prabhupada's services take you. My dear spiritual father, I am a useless son of yours who belongs to your transcendental family, but has not yet been able to sincerely inculcate the devotional qualities which are an insignia of your committed sons, daughters, and followers. Your unconditional mercy is the only antidote for my eternal ungratefulness and my weakness of the heart. Guru Maharaj, although I am unchaste in my surrender towards your instructions, and still because, Guru Maharaj, although I am unchaste in my surrender towards your instructions, still because you have mercifully accepted me as your disciple, I desire to develop a spontaneous attraction for the Lord. You have mercifully also revealed how to do that in one of your lectures, 1983, New York, USA, 25th September. Cool. For the devotees who have been very careful in chanting and hearing, the spontaneous attraction to the Lord increases day by day. Unquote. Guru Maharaj, I will try to focus even more on my chanting and hearing, but ultimately, I depend on your mercy even to do that. Please give me your blessings so that I can take full shelter of your instructions and become your faithful servant and representative. And in this way, always feel your presence in my life. Your every activity is an offering to Srila Prabhupada, and your every instruction is an assistance to the people to come to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. In a world full of quarrel, hypocrisy, impersonalism, and sense gratification, your devotion shines like the sunshine, and you're establishing Bhakti Yoga as the supreme by giving Gaur Katha and the mercy of the Holy Dham to all the villages and cities across the planet. On this auspicious day, I beg you to bless me to develop purity, compassion, and determination to follow your instructions. Please empower me so that I may be able to assist you in your services to Srila Prabhupada and be an insignificant instrument in your hand to expand this Sankirtan movement. I also pray that I may always remain true to your transcendental instructions and be eternally engaged in your service. I pray that I may always remember your lotus feet and truly inherit your mood and mission. By your mercy, Guru Maharaj, anything is possible. I desire the dust of your holy feet in every birth that I may take. Please consider me to be yours, and please be kind to me. Your eternity, Children Sikhadas, is on my feet by your name. I'd like to call upon take the response. Sudhir Prabhu would like to make an offering, please.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Deveshasvinyadi Pascha Destar. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate JAYAPATAKA Swami Namni. To be honest, I was really relishing hearing the glories of Maharaj. It was so much nectarian, like nectarian river flowing, and somehow it was pacifying the desert heart. It's truly releasing even in the morning how so many devotees like Satyadhanya Prabhu and so many wonderful devotees all over the world, they were glorifying Maharaj. And here in this small assembly as well, right, there was so much of nectarian glories of Maharaj. And we were hearing the Maharaj's address as well just before this, and Maharaj was talking about how Lord Krishna was comparing so many beautiful analogies and emphasizing these glories of devotion and how we need to practice. And he was talking about how Krishna is the super powerhouse beyond any limitations. I was really remembering that, yes, Maharaj also represents that mood. And then he is the source of energy for all the followers of ISKCON, and not only ISKCON, even materially also people now talk about, like, thanks to us, Stephen Rosenprue, like Satyaraj Prabhu, right? He is bringing up this new book, right? Milwaukee to Mayapur, right? Now, not only the devotees of ISKCON, now the people all over the world also will be able to know the glories of Maharaj, and that's the really, like, that's the really the true glories, the glory itself, right? That will have the proper meaning, once you glorify a pure devotee. And I was so fascinated to hear so many wonderful qualities of Maharaj. Like we can really glorify for hours and hours, but I was just thinking like in a couple of just drops that we can really offer, right? How Maharaj is so audacious in terms of the risk that he would like to take in terms of preaching and sharing and giving his life and soul to everybody. Like whatever Srila Prabhupada used to say, and from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jare Dekho Tare Ko Krishna Upadesh, Maharaj always embodies that principle. Whoever he meets, whether in Western countries, in some places, or in hospital, or in some village in Mayapur, or meeting anyone, right? How he first offers this holy name. Now, please take it. Or like we hear that risky, adventurous journey from Bombay to Pune to attend that Pune Yatra. Like Maharaj is really known for that strong mood to serve the devotees and to really preach the message of the Mahaprabhu. And he's really known for his bold, his brave, courageous activities. Like you see, like big bumpers that he carries in Rath Yatras, in ISKCON all over the world, and they will first ask, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, please let us know what is your available schedule, and then they will plan their Rath Yatra. So there will be no Rath Yatra in all over the world, right, without Maharaj's presence. And once Maharaj walks in, right, then you'll see the royal gaiety, the way he dances, and he makes everybody dance by saying Gauranga! Right, so of course it's just like a tiny bird in front of the roaring lion of Maharaj's sound. But yeah, that's how we can understand the difference. Right, yes. And also the compassion, right? The compassion of Maharaj. And I was hearing one very beautiful pastime. It's long back. Maharaj was traveling in South America, and somehow always there will be envious people, right? And one of the police, like the force, they try to defame, they try to make a victim of the conspiracy, right? And they did so many things, and like one police came and came inside the devotee association, and by just observing Maharaj's mood, by staying with Maharaj for some time, and then what happened? He became surrendered and he became a disciple of Maharaj. Right? How we see that a person who became so much envious of Maharaj, by seeing the quality of Maharaj, by being an assistant of Maharaj, he became a surrendered disciple of Maharaj. That's the quality, right? That's what we hear, like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the first class Vaishnava is that, like just by seeing, by just having a darshan of a devotee, really your heart also gets transformed. And you see how he's so much compassionate. Like he would be lying down on the bed, with this so much of legs swollen and so on. Yes, like Gurusu Naramati, like of course we cannot compare the spiritual master or the spiritual persons like to an ordinary just a five panchabhutas, right? But still, right, they have also a human aspect as well, right? Because most of the times it's, oh Lord Ram, because he's Supreme Lord, he did it. Oh, and Srila Prabhupada, because he's a divine, he's a Senapati Bhakta, he did it. Oh, Guru Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, because he is the eternal associate of Mahaprabhu, he did it. No, at the same time, we need to really understand what kind of pain they must be going through, right? The bodily pain, right? They are really going through it. Like when Krishna also, right? Like tortured by Mother Yashoda, he feels the pain. Similarly, the spiritual master also, they truly also feel that pain. But at the same time, they are showing with the example. Right, of course, we cannot imitate, but they are showing you that example. Yes, we have to go through, right, this material, tribulations, right, and how we have to transcend, these difficulties, right. So there are so many things that we can really glorify Maharaj, but at this, glorious, auspicious day, we really pray the lotus feet of Maharaj so that, we really take this principle to our heart, not only for just today, just for 1 hour, we glorify Maharaj, but really every moment, we remember and we really, bring it in our life and apply these principles in our life so that we can really truly say that, okay, we really love Maharaj, we really, follow Maharaj, otherwise it will just a lip service rather than, coming from the heart. So please pray that, yes, we might speak a lot, but we can be a true follower of Maharaj. So, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Sudhir Gopal Prabhu, for reminding us that lip service is not at all needed in the realm of transcendental teachings of Srila Prabhupada, but all that which we need is to become a true follower and follow the instructions truly of the spiritual master. Thank you. May I now call upon some devotees who are online. Aditi Mataji, are you ready with your offering?
Yes. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Mataji, Standard Pranam. Humble obeisances. So all, I would like to read my offerings now. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaur Katha Dhamadhai Nagar Ram Tarine. Dear Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Guru Maharaj. I wanted to write to you many times, but through mail, but I have failed. But I want to take full advantage of your upcoming VYASA Puja and try to write my offering to you in this platform. I don't have any qualifications, but I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to write to you on the auspicious day of your appearance. You set an example of devotion to Srila Prabhupada and Gauranga, and now I have a goal in life to be attached to your lotus feet. I pursue from heart to place myself in service of your lotus feet. You are the most empowered and beloved disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Gurudev, on your 73rd Sri Vyasa Puja Mahotsav, I sincerely pray to Sri Sri Gandharvika Giridhari Nrsimhadev and God Nitai for your good health and to continue delivering fallen conditioned souls. With your mercy and guidance of Arjun Sakha Prabhuji and Harishitra Prabhuji, me and my husband are serving in Gauranga Circle, Kadugodi, Bangalore. We are also giving more time to our morning sadhana regularly. Please bless us, Gurudev, so that we can serve as the instruments to sow the seed of Krishna consciousness deep into the heart of all the souls we touch, whether we are wherever we are, and be a better servant to assist you in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. I would like to conclude this offering by praying, Dear Guru Maharaj, may I simply engage in glorifying and find perfection in chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna, always hankering for your mercy, your aspiring servant, Aditi Thakur. Also, I would like to pray to all the devotees present here that I have been away from Bangalore from past 4 months. So kindly pray for us. These 4 months appear to be many years since I have been away. So kindly pray for me and Sanjeev Prabhuji that we should be back there and we should not go away from devotee association. Vachakalpatrupyascha kripa sindhubhya vicha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji's Mataji. Tanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Aditi Mataji, thank you very much for your wonderful offering and helping us realize the importance of devotee association and conveying to us your pain of separation and service and separation from the devotees. Let's chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for the family of Sanjeev Prabhu and Aditi Mataji so that they can overcome the ups and downs and they can come back to Bangalore as soon as possible. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So I would now like to call upon Mohan Prabhu, all the way from Bellari. Sorry.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Tanvat Pranam. Jai Guru, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Actually, I'm new, quite new, so I'm not good in languages, so I try to my best to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaur Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Grama Tarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunavadi Pashata Deshtar. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. Guru Maharaj, you are Krupa Sindhu. You are trying to fulfill all Prabhupada's instructions any moment, any circumstances, by any circumstances, even though physically challenging conditions. you are unstoppable warrior in the battlefield of Maya and Kali. If you were wished to, you can go back home back at any time. But in the so much in this condition also, you were trying to pull so many people as possible to get back to the Godhead. So your ocean of mercy, Guru Maharaj. Your what can I say? I'm unqualified. I don't know how to glorify you. So I just want to tell my yes. And you want to touch many people and getting back to the Godhead. And you were said one point mentioned in that lecture also. So Krishna Bangalore first Krishna consciousness city. So we are all trying for that, Guru Maharaj. We want your blessings. I want your give that ability and strength to we can do that possible, Guru Maharaj. Also in that lecture says impossible. Purpose also says that impossible thing is nothing in our dictionary. So impossible word is not there in our dictionary. So it can possible. It is possible by your mercy, Guru Maharaj. So please give that mercy and still tell more that about. I am inspired by your. I connected with ISKCON Whitefield Guru Maharaj. So I connected with Achyut Prabhuji. So he guided me very nicely. And I'm not qualified, but by their mercy, I'm inspired to take initiation from you, Guru Maharaj. I taken a shelter on you in yours. So I'm happy to connect with your ISKCON Whitefield Disabled Guru Maharaj. They are very nice devotees. I'm inspiring to take initiation from you, Guru Maharaj. Already I'm taking your shelter, Guru Maharaj. I want to serve in Srila Prabhupada's mission. I wanted to read Srila Prabhupada's book nicely and wanted to preach. I wanted to distribute Prabhupada's books and I wanted to do course seva and I want to please bless me that Guru Maharaj, they give me that intelligence, strength, and the strong determination, Guru Maharaj, that I want to do my service at most as how much I can possible in that in the it's possible in my strength and by your mercy, it is all possible by your mercy, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I'm little scared. I don't know what to speak. I'm just sorry, much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mohan Prabhu. We are away from Bangalore, but still you are a pillar of ISKCON Whitefield. We always feel you and we take help from you to do our services. Thank you, Hare Krishna. May I now call upon Charan Prabhu to present his offering to Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble and respectful obeisances. Krishna Padaya, Krishna Krishnaya, Buddha Srimate JAYAPATAKA Swami Namo Namo Acharya Padaya, Vidaya Pradaya, Gaura Katadam, Nagavirodharana. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to your auspicious appearance day. As your name says, you are the victory flag in the hands of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has given you various instructions. You have been tirelessly working, meditating all the time, how to fulfill those instructions. One of those instructions is to develop the kingdom of God, that is Mayapur, and developing devotee. From the information I got from the senior devotees that Mayapur once upon a time was a place of dacoits and thieves. In such times, devotees were in the condition of carrying weapons with them to protect their lives. Such a place was now converted literally into Vaikuntha, where every one of them are devotees. It was possible only by your divine grace. Your compassion for the Bhadajivas like me is unlimited. When you are completely down with your bad health, still you are preaching lying on the bed. But I'm so unfortunate that I cannot take advantage of your live lectures. You have negotiated with the Lord twice for your life just to fulfill the instructions of your spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. You are a perfect example of the verse, Guru Mukha Padmavakyam Chittate Puriyam Aikyam. Now I am serving as a full-time devotee in ISKCON Whitefield under the guidance of His Grace Harikshit Virgin. I have been asked to take up youth college preaching services intended to make an insignificant effort to fulfill your instruction to make Bangalore a first Krishna conscious city. Supreme Maharaj, please forgive me for all my offenses committed under your lotus feet and in your dear disciples and all other devotees. Supreme Maharaj, I am seeking your blessings and mercy that I can follow the instructions, render service for the pleasure of you, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, and Lord Krishna. Your insignificant servant, Charan Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Charan Prabhu, for your very heart-touching offering. May I now call upon Kodishishi Gaurang Prabhu to present his offering to the Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All goes to your dear grace, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept a small homage glorification on your 73rd VYASA Puja day. I feel that I am not qualified to write an homage due to my fallen conditioned state, but still, I do an attempt to glorify your divine grace just to purify my existence. Your Holiness mercifully gave me an opportunity to do Vapu Seva, which I never expected that I will get an opportunity in this lifetime. I was being called for 3 months of Vapu Seva, but it extended to 6 months, which was my most fortunate. Because of my fort, I'm very fortunate for that. And in these 6 months of Seva, I was doing some of the menial services and assisting some of your personal servants. I learned many things when I was in Vapu Seva, and most wonderful and amazing thing was every day I get your Holiness Darshan personally. I heard some of your glorious activities before I came for Vapu Seva, but I got opportunity to render service personally. Then I witnessed those great qualities. I saw your Holiness like a great spiritual master and who came to deliver fallen soul like me, not caring about your health and bodily needs. Also like a father who cares for his children, like mother who loves everyone, like a teacher who give right guidance and correct his disciples who are doing wrong and doing many who are doing wrong. Your Holiness has unlimited great qualities and no end for me to glorify those qualities. Dear Father, I had received your mercy of second initiation and saffron clothes on December 26, 2021. Personally, please bless me that I should continue as a brahmachari till my last breath and serve you and Srila Prabhupada mission. Hope so that Guru Maharaj will give me, who is an unqualified son, again for your personal Vapu Seva, so that by just rendering some menial services at your divine lotus feet, I can get purified and perfect my life. I'm not so good in understanding philosophy of scriptures. For me, the best engagement, what I feel I can do only to do physical service. Till now, I'm serving in ISKCON Whitefield, Bangalore temple as a full-time devotee, and most of my services are physical services. Most of my services will be like making garlands for the deities, deity worship, cleaning temple hall and ashram, decorating temple on festivals, etc. I am good at these services. Hope by your mercy, I will get some taste in service, which I am doing and progress further in devotional service. Gurudev, I always seek your blessings and mercy. It is my only hope, and by your mercy, I can progress nicely in devotional service. Please forgive me for the offenses which I have done at your divine lotus feet. Your eternal disciple and son, Kodishishi Gaurang Das, ISKCON Whitefield, Bangalore.
Thank you so much, Kodishishi Gaurang Prabhu. You have been witness to all the wonderful descriptions which we are speaking. You've actually seen all of those divine qualities in action. You are certainly fortunate. May I now call upon His Grace Karthikeya Prabhu to present his offering to Guru Maharaj.
करोति वाचालं पंगुलं हयते गिरिं यत्कृपातं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my repeated humble obeisance at your lotus feet. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nityanamani. You have been playing a very important role in my spiritual life. You were the first sannyasi to shower mercy onto me in the year 2012. You mercifully blessed me and gave your eminence. I didn't understand at that time what it meant to get the blessings and eminence, but now I understand how this mercy has helped me to progress in bhakti. You're very merciful. In the same meeting, one of my friend who came with me expressed his desire to take shelter from you, and you immediately said, "Get flowers, and I'll give you shelter." And as usual, your servants freaked out for some time. My repeated obeisances to all your servants who are able to serve your dynamic, merciful, and inconceivable mood. You are a hero for all the preachers. Whenever I think of you and get your darshan, I feel very ashamed at myself that I'm not able to render much service in this healthy body. But your thought or your darshan gives me a lot of enthusiasm to continue rendering devotional service in all circumstances. You have set a very high standard for all the preachers. Hearing about your preaching activities, I feel every cell of your body longs for preaching. Your Sakshat preaching Murte. You're just living only to fulfill the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. You're a Prabhupada man. Today morning, when I was offering flowers to you, I was feeling ecstatic thinking about my great fortune to see the manifest pastimes of great personalities like yourself. I'm very fortunate to have association of your wonderful disciples who are my superiors, my equals, my subordinates. They all are helping me to remain fired up in preaching activities and devotional service in general. Especially my counselor and our center head, His Grace Harikshitra Prabhuji. I'm trying my best to serve you by serving your disciples and trying to contribute a little towards making Bangalore a Krishna conscious city. Please empower me to continue serving this mission of Srila Prabhupada till my last breath. Your servant Kartikeya Das. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Kartikeya Prabhu, for your prayerful offering to Guru Maharaj. May I now call upon Mohan Rup Madhusudan Prabhu for presenting his offering. Hare Krishna.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामी इति नाम्नि नमो आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरकथा दामदय नगर ग्रामतारिणे Hare Krishna. I offer my respectful and humble Dandavat pranams at the nest of your lotus feet. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada and all glories to your loving divine grace. I wish you a very happy VYASA Puja and pray to Srimati Radharani for many happy returns of this auspicious day. Guru Maharaj, we had a very tough time last year. But this year, because of your costless mercy, we are able to overcome it with less anxiety. Guru Maharaj, you have always been inspiring us with your service to Guru and Gauranga. But we fallen souls are so engrossed in our routine material activities that we have forgotten the real purpose of our life. I was always wondering that how such a abominable person like me I am in contact with this beautiful so-called institution as ISKCON. I remember just that during one of my menial service, night service, which was offered to me, in your presence, I accidentally got to touch your lotus feet. I think it's only keeping me in this institution and in contact with the devotees. Guru Maharaj, it is only because of your association and association of your senior devotees we are engaged in some menial service of preaching. This year, Guru Maharaj, we are happy to inform you that 4 of our DV members have taken Srila Prabhupada as Ashraya. One devotee has taken Krishna Upasaka and one family Krishna Sevaka. And during this year's Transcendental Book Marathon, with the help of senior devotees and our DV members, who distribute close to 200 books. Guru Maharaj, I please beg upon you to kindly bless us to become qualified, sincere, and serious in your service. My only ray of hope is you, Guru Maharaj, because I know that if not your blessings, I would have rotten by this time in this material world. On this auspicious day, I pray to remain a speck of dust at your lotus feet. O my beloved Guru Maharaj, wishing you the most wonderful VYASA Puja celebration again and again. Guru Deva, I will be very happy if fallen soul like me will be able to serve in any way. Your insignificant servants, Mohan Rup Madhusudan Das, which also Divida said.
Thank you, Mohan Mansoor Prabhu, for teaching us the value of dependence on the spiritual master. May I now call upon Yugal Kishore Prabhu to present his offering to Guru Maharaj. Yugal Kishore Prabhu followed by Abhishek Tiwari.
Hare Krishna, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami. Hare Krishna. So you would have heard a lot of pastimes about Maharaj, but today I thought I would share some different pastimes. Probably you would not have heard that. So it was written by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj in his book, which is The Ocean of Mercy. Maharaj writes that they were in very early days, and a group of devotees came from US via Japan, and they reached to Mayapur. And they were very tall, stout, and very, very well built. And they would challenge all the Mayapur devotees. So there will be wrestling matches between the Mayapur devotees versus the devotees who came from US. And one day, it was so happened that they pulled His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj for a wrestling match. And it so happened that Maharaj was defeated immediately. And Maharaj writes in his diary that when His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj saw that, he couldn't tolerate that. And immediately he sprang like a lion and roared like a lion and came into the battlefield. And he challenged. And for a minute, it was a silence. Nobody was ready to take a challenge with Maharaj. And within 2-3 minutes, the leader of other Yatra group, so he motioned other devotees, you come and fight with Maharaj. And somehow he could gather some courage, because you know that what is the result of his fighting with Maharaj. And then he came into the battlefield, and Maharaj, like by the mercy of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, and of course Radha Madhav, he could immediately defeat. He actually pulled him, took to some height, and actually knocked him down. Immediately the devotee and the whole the yatra, they never dared again to challenge Mayapur devotees. So that was Maharaj, so wonderful pastime. It was another occasion. Maharaj writes in the same book that it was night time. They were discussing about Chaitanya Charitamrut, and the devotee who was security, he came running. He said that a group of dacoits coming to attack our temple. And Maharaj was in a mood of hearing, so he did not want to go out, but he was little upset. But he said, "Okay, let us go." So Maharaj took a stick, and everybody was little afraid, because if it's a dacoit, who will be having courage to face all the dacoits? But Maharaj gathered courage. I mean, Maharaj was the front leader, and all other devotees were behind Maharaj. And Maharaj, when reached there, actually it was when he saw that, it was a group of people who were having the torch in their hand, and they were saying, "Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai." So Maharaj was so wonderful leader. So I was just thinking, there was another occasion which Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj writes in that same book, that nobody would courage actually to swim across the Ganga. And Maharaj did multiple times that you will go from this age to that bank, and that bank to return to Mayapur. So I was just thinking, because Srila Prabhupada, during the Srila Prabhupada's times, if some devotee has to paint a picture or something, so Prabhupada said, you just chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and you will get, because when there is instruction, the instruction followed by the empowerment. And they would actually do, because Prabhupada had such a strong faith in holy name. So here Maharaj, being the all-rounder, so how is that he's getting all this potency? Because having such a strong faith in the holy name of Krishna, and in the strong faith in the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. It's not only that, I mean, this is just some other example, but if you see Maharaj's whole life, how he dedicated like a Srila Prabhupada's man, following the Srila Prabhupada's instruction as his life and soul. He said that you go and become a citizen of India. Maharaj became a citizen. You go and you learn Bengali. Maharaj learned Bengali. He said that you get more than 10,000 disciples, and Maharaj did that. Everything just for
pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. And that is because Srila Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita 9.26, the real success of devotional service is following the instruction of spiritual master. And when we please spiritual master, our life becomes successful and glorious. And that is what Maharaj did exactly throughout his life. You cannot find any deviation than what Srila Prabhupada had told. And that is why Maharaj is called as Srila Prabhupada's man. His whole name JAYAPATAKA Swami Maharaj ki. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki.
Very much His Grace Srila for teaching us the importance of having faith in the instructions of the spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. So Guru Maharaj is instructed to make Bangalore a Krishna conscious city. Let's have full faith in it and dedicate our lives towards it. Thank you. May I now call upon Abhishek Tiwari to present his offering.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामी के नामने नमो आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने पौर्णप्रदानदाय नवग्रंथाय Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Please accept my respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. Wish you a very happy 73rd Vyasa Puja celebration. Guru Maharaj, you are an epitome of surrender and mercy. All of us feel extremely fortunate to be able to know about your glorious pastimes and to be present at the same time when you are executing your Leela here in this planet. Guru Maharaj, I have attended many lectures giving me details about deep Krishna conscious philosophy. In such lectures, there are topics that I've heard such as complete surrender to Guru and Krishna, pure devotional service, Krishna Prem, and many more. Due to my puny material intelligence and strong material attachments, nothing actually seeps into my heart. Any effort to meditate and understand these only makes me wonder if such higher platforms can even be achieved. But when I see you and hear about your glorious life, all my doubts are cleared. You have exemplified complete surrender to Srila Prabhupada and Lord Krishna himself. Ever since you have met Srila Prabhupada, you have completely offered yourself to his service. And the way you are serving him till today is an example for all of us. When Prabhupada asked if you would take sannyas, you had replied back, yes, Prabhupada, whatever you like. The act of complete surrender, where one is subservient to another's desire, is a fearful idea for me. But you have shown the example that on perfectly following a perfect master, you can achieve all perfection. You have shown that we need not follow our own manufactured and whimsical goals to become happy. While aligning all your desires for pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, you have remained ever blissful. This is evident from your lectures where you enthusiastically call out the name Gauranga, which wakes up all the sleeping souls. Also, receiving the sannyas order at a very early age of 21, you have been preaching around the world spreading spiritual joy. And your loud kirtans, where you used to play on big wampers, exuded bliss like nowhere else. You undoubtedly are happiness personified while pursuing Srila Prabhupada's instructions. In fact, you ask your disciples to assist you in fulfilling the instructions of Srila Prabhupada given to you. Such meticulous meditation on every specific instruction and dedicating a whole life in fulfilling them proves that your surrender to Guru and Krishna is complete. Pure devotional service is so elusive, but you, along with many of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, have given the example of how pure devotional service looks like. The desire to fulfill Prabhupada's instruction and Jiva Daya is so deeply ingrained in you that any other bodily consideration doesn't matter. Even a bit of physical pain or mental distress affects me. But you have willfully taken so much distresses just for delivering people's rotting in cycle of birth and death. The concept of being liberated platform remains theoretical if one hasn't heard about you. Like a soldier on battlefield, you're giving every drop of your energy to ensure victory of devotional service under Lord Chaitanya. You have to face so many health challenges, but you appear stronger by the day in your will to fulfill Prabhupada's instruction.
Due to cause this mercy, you have accepted more than 50,000 disciples. It's so puzzling for me that how can you be so selfless that even after knowing that accepting so many disciples would result in transfer karma, you have carried on to accept so many disciples. But a lowly person like me cannot fathom the idea of unwaveringly following Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Your devotional service is purely and purely for the satisfaction of Srila Prabhupada's instructions and pleasing him and Lord Krishna. I'm extremely grateful that you considered me for shelter and let myself be connected to you and the glorious Guru Shishya Parampara. Please help me in staunchly following your instructions and serving you faithfully. I wish to be attracted to you more and more and develop my devotional service so that I can serve you as however you wish.
Thank you, Abhishek Prabhu, for your wonderful offering. I take this opportunity to invite His Grace Bandhu Manda Prabhu to present his offering to Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept our respectful obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Consider this tiny drop of glorification of you on your 73rd Vyasa Puja as a greatest blessing unto me. Guru Maharaj, you are one of the greatest servant that I have come across. In your whole life, you are simply meditating and executing to fulfill the desires of your spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has been another greatest servant of his spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada took a lot of life-threatening hardships to start this international society for Krishna consciousness and gave the fruit of his work to able and qualified servants like your good self to take it to next generation for the welfare of the whole world. You took his message more farther and wider to even remote places of this globe and delivered this rare commodity of Krishna consciousness to many more people. Srila Prabhupada gave this our family business of book distribution and preaching. You have given all your life to this instruction of Srila Prabhupada to preach Krishna consciousness unlimitedly. A Vaishnava is known by how many Vaishnavas he makes. You are one glorious Vaishnava in this whole Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya to have made 50,000 disciples and still continuing to preach even more and more to more people. You have made all odds in your life as opportunities to preach and glorify Lord Chaitanya. You always glorified the special incarnation of Lord in this Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in every place and opportunity you have got. You have realized well that if anyone could save the fallen people of this age, it is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most munificent incarnation of Lord Krishna. And just as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was distributing his mercy to all, even to the most unqualified, you have been distributing the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everyone who is desiring to receive it. You are carrying the real mood of our parampara as preached by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to practice it, make one's life perfect, and to preach to whomever we meet. Srila Prabhupada had same mood. He was not content in staying at Sri Vrindavan Dham and practice itself. He took this mercy far and wide. Similarly, you do not stay content in your practice. You have been stretching yourself beyond limits to preach and distribute the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all corners of the world. On your Vyasa Puja, we would like to seek your blessing to imbibe the same mood and take the message that Srila Prabhupada has given us to as many people as we can. Please bless us that we use this human form of life in serving you by helping many people to take up this process of Krishna consciousness. Hope we will one day become a good servant of yours and serve you as you desire. Your servant, Bandhu Madhav Das, Sumati Janava Devi Dasi, and Bhakta Baladeva.
So, Bandhu Prabhu, for your wonderful heart-touching offering, may I now call upon Alankrita Sudevi Mataji to present her offering.
Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swami Nityanamane Nama Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayani Gauraga Damadaya Nagara Gramadharini. Hare Krishna, my dear spiritual master, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Guru Maharaj, I am not qualified to glorify you, but I take this as a part of my purification. Guru Maharaj, I am not qualified to glorify you, but I take this as a part of my purification. Guru Maharaj, I am very much inspired by your steadfastness in Krishna consciousness. I beg I get a drop of such steadfastness. There are many instances which inspired me from you, dear Guru Maharaj. The day where you were admitted in Hinja Hospital in 2008, where devotees were shocked, and that struck me very much. Who is this person for whom many people are worrying about? And later I realized you are not an ordinary person, and such worry of devotees are worth it. Similarly, the recent transplantation you underwent, and still you continue to have the same steadfastness and focus without any deviation. The devotee care you give is remarkable. On this auspicious day, Kalyan Prabhu and I beg at your lotus feet to give us a drop of your mercy and focus on Krishna consciousness, irrespective of our material conditions, to serve you and Vaishnavas to the best of our capacity. As it says, Jogeta Vichare, Kichanahi Bhagye, Tomara Karuna Sara, Karunana Hoide, Kandiya Kandiya. I am nothing, dear Guru Maharaj. I am a person with no patience, no tolerance, and with no good qualities at all. But whenever I pray to you internally, the reciprocation I get is highly motivating to serve you more. Irrespective of distance, you are approachable as Antaryami. I remember a past time from a devotee wherein in a hurry to getting ready to go to airport, you peeped your leg towards him and said, "Put on my socks on my leg." And he stared at you and he said, "Always in Krishna conscious, you should be prepared to expect the unexpected. Wherever you never forget to bless devotees. And taking care of devotees and also non-devotees. The recent blessing which you gave during my marriage to Kalyan Prabhu and myself is unforgettable throughout my life. In spite of hurrying to get into hospital, you blessed us both. We both would like to serve you, requesting your blessings on these fallen souls to improve in our Krishna consciousness and be more focused spiritually, serve Srila Prabhupada movement, serve you Gurudeva and His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj, become more stronger internally to expect the unexpected. Praying to Lord Narasimha soon that day comes soon where you dance and do kirtan with big kartals so that the day comes soon. Your insignificant servant, Kalyan Raman Prabhu and Alankrita Sudevi Devidas.
Thank you very much, Mataji. We have been knowing Kalyan Prabhu, but we are meeting you for the first time today. We welcome you to the ISKCON Rightfield Congregation community. And we hope that we will get your association more often. May I now call upon His Grace Harishit Prabhu, and this will be the final offering for today. After that, we'll move towards Pushpanjali and other things. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories unto your divine lotus feet. We have learned about Goshtyanandi Prahlad Maharaj from Srimad Bhagavatam, who practiced devotional service amidst all odds. But we can see practical example in your divine grace, practicing and preaching devotional service amongst all odds. No excuse given. Simultaneously, you are lenient to accommodate all fallen souls and become pleased with whatever little they can offer. This is an all-attractive feature of your divine grace. Some of the things that I practice in developing my relationship with you are feeling the direct presence. I started the practice of attentively and legibly chanting Guru Pranam Mantra and Srila Prabhupada Pranam Mantra at the beginning of every round of Hare Krishna Mantra. praying to enable me to hear the holy name. This practice has helped me a lot to connect with you as you really engage me in hearing the mantra clearly, which is otherwise not possible with my own endeavors. This makes me feel your personal presence and personal Vapu Seva. I am far away being engaged in local services, hardly to get any Vapu Seva. Almost every day, except when I am traveling, I try to offer Seva to your photograph, cleaning and offering flowers, and begging forgiveness and praying for mercy to render my service nicely. This daily seva helps me tremendously to connect with you. Just a pause in this one. In fact, this in the services that we are doing in interviewing the initiation candidates. So there is a checklist that is there. So I have also filled those checklists, but I've forgotten. So, but when I'm doing the interviews, I'm able to see that, are you ready to offer daily worship? And do you have a provision to worship your spiritual master? No, worship spiritual master every day. And will you beg forgiveness for your offenses? No, every day. So when I was going through that checklist, so then it just struck me that no, I'm taking interviews. No, I should also it's a good reminder actually. So, and I try to put it into practice, and it's really wonderful and nice. So this daily seva helps me tremendously to connect with you. I also would like to mention the instructions that I'm meditating upon. Make Bangalore Krishna conscious city, send regular preaching reports and book distribution reports. I could able to send one video report last year, and I'm preparing the next one. And hearing attentively, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and also hearing attentively the lecture of Srila Prabhupada and yourself, becoming serious and mature. And many more instructions are there. So I've kind of documented it, and I try to read them often, and hoping and praying that my services of preaching in Bangalore may offer you pleasure. Pleasing the spiritual master is the only business of a disciple. Seeking your blessings for rendering service unto you, begging to forgive my offenses in course of my service. Your insignificant disciple.
Thank you very much, His Grace Parikshit Prabhu, for your very observant and meditative offering. Rukmai Mataji has just requested that if she could be given a short time, so we'll consider her offering to be the last. Rukmai Mataji.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिने नामिने नमो आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौर कथा धामदाय मनोरमावतारिणे. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. On this auspicious occasion of your 73rd VYASA Puja, I shall attempt to purify you, although I have no qualification. I wholeheartedly thank you for accepting this extremely fallen and useless soul under your shelter. One clear instruction that I remember reading prior to my initiation was to cry that we are not crying for Lord Shri Krishna while chanting. It has been 2 years since my initiation, and it is my misfortune that my steel-hard heart still doesn't cry. I pray to you, seeking your blessings so that I can fulfill your instruction. I meditate on the fact that you have extended your stay on this planet to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's instructions. You ecstatically enlighten us with nectarian pastimes of Lord Chaitanya every evening, associate of Lord Chaitanya. Yet I'm so wretched that I often do not utilize this wonderful opportunity. Hence, on this auspicious occasion, I would like to reinforce my meditation on my initiation vows. Guru Maharaj, with each day passing, I learn how deeply compassionate you are, completely absorbed in the mood to preach unlimitedly and deliver all the fallen souls. You inspire me every day with your daily activities, how each and every activity is for pleasing Srila Prabhupada and his mission, which is non-different from the mission of Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of JAYAPATAKA Krishna Upadesh. I again and again offer my respectful obeisances unto you,
who is attached to fulfilling the desires and instructions of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. By bestowing the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and spreading the glories of the abode, transcendental pastimes and instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are delivering all the inhabitants of the towns and villages. Your compassion for the fallen souls is remarkable, urging everyone to somehow chant the holy names in the hospitals, to the doctors, nurses, other patients, literally everyone. Taking every opportunity to distribute prasadam and talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how everyone should serve Him lovingly. Your mind is always absorbed in devising new ways to preach and reach more and more souls who are suffering. Srila Gurudev, by your blessings, my family is engaged in Bhakti Vriksha preaching. To offer relatives who are also a part of our Bhakti Vriksha are also aspiring to take initiation from you and have formally taken aspiration earlier in January. We all seek your blessings for our Bhakti Vriksha members. Please bless us so that we can act as instruments in awakening the dormant Krishna consciousness in them. I beg for forgiveness for the offenses that I have committed knowingly or unknowingly. I seek your mercy and blessings so that I can fulfill your instructions. Your spiritual daughter, Rupamai Sudevi Dasi.
Thank you, Rupamai Mataji. So with that, we end, although it should not end, but it's material world, so all good things should come to an end. When devotees go back to spiritual world, then they can unlimitedly glorify. However, every activity in the life of a disciple is already a glorification for the spiritual master. But for now, we pause here. And now we are going to, just like on the day of VYASA Puja, we recommit ourselves to the vows given to the spiritual master. VYASA Puja is also a nice occasion to recommit and remind ourselves and rebuild and reinstate our faith in the instructions of the spiritual master. Especially for devotees of Bangalore, they've got a very important instruction. They are actually a part of something which is really great, which is happening and which will happen and which will surely happen in the future. So let's prepare our consciousness and rebuild our faith in this divine instruction which we have got, for which we are so fortunate.
Krishna only comes once in 8 billion years.
If Krishna only comes once in 8 billion years,
and sometimes Lord Chaitanya comes.
Lord Chaitanya comes.
And only sometimes Prabhupada comes. So we are so fortunate. To be able to help Srila Prabhupada. To be able to help Srila Prabhupada to establish this golden age,
because this is the golden age,
to bring in the golden age,
to be in the golden age.
So which city in the world will be the first Krishna conscious city?
Which city in the world would be the first Krishna conscious city?
Bengaluru?
Is it Bangalore or Bengaluru? With your blessings and mercy, goodness, anything is possible.
Fantastic. Wonderful. I'm trying to extend the number of devotees here in Bangalore.
and try to expand the number of devotees here in Bangalore.
With our future goal, make the Bangalore a Krishna conscious city.
With our goal of making this Bangalore a Krishna conscious city.
Want each devotee to also grow and become more and more blissful and happy.
We want each devotee to grow and become more and more blissful and happy
in their Krishna consciousness.
In their Krishna consciousness.
So with that, we pause the glorifications and the meditation part of this program. Let's all end this session of this wonderful 73rd Vyasa Puja ceremony with a heartfelt prayer for empowerment so that we can fulfill the words and the desires of a pure devotee. Let's all chant from the core of our hearts, begging for mercy, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare. And now we move towards the next section, next segment of today's program, that is offering worship to our dear Guru Maharaj. Pushpanjali and then Aarti and then Pushpanjali. So I would like to call upon His Grace Bandhaman Prabhu to do the worship, the Aarti. And then I think all of us can stand up now. संसार रामा नलनी ढलोका प्राणाय कारुण्य घना घना संसार रामा नलनी ढलोका प्राणाय कारुण्य घना घना दासस्य कल्याण गुणानवस्य वंदे गुरु
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Only one set of serving is here, so everyone can
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Kacharya, Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Istavan Vaisesi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Kacharya, Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Istavan Vaisesi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा मई की जय, यमुना मई की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, संवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So now we will have Pushpanjali, so devotees can collect the flowers and we will start the Pushpanjali. So Achaman and flowers can go together so that devotees can take. There is another Achaman, is there? No. Just a minute. So by the time Achaman and flowers are distributed, we will chant the Mangalacharan prayers. So we will chant in unison, and when we are doing the Pushpanjali offering, that time we will repeat this one. So now all of us will chant in unison. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Radha सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवार्षवानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाद्य श्री रूपानुभवक्तिद श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनकारिणे रूपानुभाविरुद्धाप सिद्धांत हारिणे नमो गौराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विक्रलंबार सांबोधे पादांबुजायते नमः नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुभावरायते गौराविर्भाव भूमे स्वं निर्दिष्ट सज्जनप्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरविषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते जयतां सुरतो पंगो मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजो राधा मदन मोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नाहार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठालीनि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारंगी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन्वेनो स्वनर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रीयस्तुनः तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So now we will be offering Pushpanjali. So the process of offering is, we will chant Guru Maharaj's Pranam mantra, and after, I'll be chanting and you'll repeat after me, word by word. And after that, when we call Esha Pushpanjali, so we have to offer the flowers to Guru Maharaj. So, but this is done in 3 times. So you should save 3 portions of the flowers that you have in your hand and then do it 3 times. So 3 times this process will be followed. So after we offer pushpa to the Guru Maharaj, so then we have to offer obeisances. So then again the next chant will start. In this way 3 times we will do the chanting. And those of you who feel like you're very far away and it's difficult for you to come every time, so you can keep it in another hand and then offer it together at one shot. So that is also possible. So but like after every time devotees offer, so we will chant the next time. So kindly repeat after me. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakatha Damadaya Maharagramatharine Esha Pushpanjali. Please come close and offer, don't throw from far. After offering, offer obeisances. Not nearby, you can go behind and offer obeisances. Okay, kindly repeat after me. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakata Damadaya Maharagramatarine Esha Pushpanjali Now we will do the third and last invocation. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakata Damadaya Maharagramatarine Esha Pushpanjali Hare Krishna. Now the prasadam will be served in the upstairs. So the altar will be there open for next 2 minutes. So devotees who want to take close darshan, offer prayers, so you can come closer. And then we will ceremoniously close the altar and we will go to the upstairs for prasadam. We also need help in wind-up service. So devotees can kindly come forward for wind-up service after prasadam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, so now we will close the altar. Just Koti Sushipo, if someone is there, you can close the altar. Where is Achman? Anybody has seen Achman? Achman. Shri Shri Gandhar Giridhari Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Shri Nikai Gaur Sundar ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So thank you very much to everybody, all the devotees who have assembled here today. It was your presence, both physical as well as online, which made this event very wonderful. We'd also like to thank Harikshetra Prabhu, Vandamada Prabhu, Yogakishore Prabhu, and Sudhirupal Prabhu for guiding us and having such a nice event almost after 2 years. We're feeling very happy. The lifeline of our lives has come back. The Association of Disciples of Guru Maharaj and his well-wishers. We'd also like to thank the kitchen team who has been tirelessly working since morning, both for the afternoon offering and now the wonderful feast which is waiting for all of us upstairs. We'd also like to thank Koti Shashi Gaurang Prabhu and his team for leading the decorations here. Thank you very much for making this IBC look more wonderful. Thank you very much to everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.